Hello, my name is Sophie Gedahun, and I'm your host for this episode of the College and Career Readiness Podcast. Today, we're joined by our special guest, the epitome of Black excellence, Mr. Jonathan Charanga, a senior portfolio manager. Before we start our interview, remember to take control of your future, join the California Army National Guard, and serve your community during local and state emergencies. You'll learn marketable skills, earn a paycheck, and get money for school. Contact Sergeant A. Aquino today at 916-233-7615. All right, Mr. Charanga, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and I was raised for the first 8 years of my life by my grandparents, specifically my grandmom. And I grew up under very poor means, to put it bluntly, staying in a two-bedroom basement that was rat infested. I went on to go to a very undistinguished high school, but for me, my education changed when I went to a Navy prep school, and really I did well enough in the school in order to earn a Navy ROTC scholarship, and I chose to go to school at Morehouse College, and Morehouse College gave me a half scholarship to pay for room and board. There I majored in math and physics, and once I finished Morehouse College, I joined the Navy full-time to serve out my commitment. And after finishing the U.S. Navy as the #1 rated officer on 2 ships, I chose to go to UC Berkeley and pursue an MBA with a concentration in finance and investments. And after graduating from UC Berkeley, I spent some time at Hewlett-Packard. I spent 3 years at Hewlett-Packard, and in that time, I was promoted to the North America Credit Manager, and I decided to leave Hewlett-Packard to go and join Standard & Poor's. And at Standard & Poor's, it took me all of 3 years to become the leader of the special tax group, which was unheard of for such a short period of time. And after Standard & Poor's, I said, okay, well, let's really start to get into investing. And so I went to work at T. Rowe Price in Baltimore, and while I was there, I was there for 10 years. The last 8 years that I was there, I was chosen as a municipal all-star analyst. Once I decided to leave T. Rowe Price, I went to work at my present company, Pioneer Investments, also known today as Amundi Pioneer. And I became the portfolio manager after being there for only 17 months, which was very fast-tracked. And the last 3 years of managing the riskiest, or the municipal high-yield portfolio with the most risk in the United States, I've had the fortune to be placed in the top 25 percentile in that peer group for the last 3 years, and that's a remarkable achievement for someone who's only been at the helm of the portfolio manager role for 4 years.
Yeah, that is amazing. Clearly, it took a lot of hard work, and you and me, we've had previous conversations, and you said something that resonated with me. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So how does that resonate with you in your everyday life? Clearly, all of your hard work took a lot of planning, so how do you plan for your future success?
Well, there are certain things that I believe in life. And one is hard work, and two is preparation. And one of my favorite definitions is what I call my definition of luck, where meaning where preparation meets opportunity. And I've been lucky all of my life because I've been prepared for every opportunity that has come my way. And the way that I approach life is that, we're all only on this earth for a short period of time. And, I plan on living life to the fullest and taking advantage of every opportunity that comes my way. And so if it means that I have to do a little bit extra to prepare to be the best, then that's what I'm going to do. Because, there are a few, as we talked about, I only know 3 other black portfolio managers in the United States. And that's a very, very, very low number, for this industry. And so whenever I'm in front of a client, whenever I have to do a presentation, or whenever I'm thinking about making an investment decision, I want to make sure that I have my full set of skills with me in order to make the very best decision that I can, because I'm going to be judged whether I want to or not, fairly or unfairly. And so, what I want to do in those instances is make it extremely difficult for someone to say, see, he's unqualified, he's this, he's that. All I want him to say is, I'm the best. And so I work hard, and I work harder than anyone else. My average sleep is 4 hours a day. I get a daily report card. My fund is you can go on to Morningstar.com and look up my fund every day of the year and see how I'm ranked against my peers. You can see how I'm doing against them for the year, for 3 years, for 5 years, for 10 years. And, by me being in the top quartile, that means I'm knocking it out the box. And that's planning to win. And this has been a very long process, and the process is not going to end until I decide it.
Mm-hmm. You're clearly very, very passionate about your job. So can you tell us a little bit more about being a senior portfolio manager, and what does an average day look like?
Yeah, sure. So I'm responsible for managing approximately $2.5 billion of people's hard-earned money. And so, the typical day in the life will be, me coming into the office and, getting a call from Wall Street from 4 or 5 different sell side people saying, hey, Jonathan, maybe you should take a look at this bond, or do you want to sell that bond, or Jonathan, what do you think of this as an investment, or why didn't you choose something else? And and because I invest in the broad spectrum of municipal high yield deals, my knowledge has to really span the gamut of the sectors that we cover. And to the extent that I'm being asked to look at a deal, whether to purchase it or to not purchase it, or whether I need to raise some cash because an investor has decided that he or she needs to take some money out of the fund, it presents great opportunities for me to really show my skill set, But the other part of what I do is sometimes clients may have questions about how the fund is performing, or how, for instance, with the latest legislation, how tax cuts will affect their investments in my stock or in my bond fund, or they may have other types of questions that they may ask, and it's incumbent upon me to allay whatever concerns that they may have, or just to ensure them that, hey, look, you are, your concerns are not as great as they may appear, or we feel that we have went in and covered the downside for any economic event that may occur, or for any type of event that that could pop up.
From what I could gather, you're clearly in a very, very competitive field, the top of the top. So what kind of advice would you give for some of our younger students listening, especially minorities? You said earlier, arm yourself with excellence. What does that mean?
Well, you gotta be prepared. First of all, you have to be absolutely confident in your skills. You gotta hone those skills, and you always got to look to improve. There's something that we can always be improving. Kobe Bryant, one of the best basketball players, after every game, he stayed in the gym and continued to put up shots. I'm the same way. I work 7 days a week. And again, what I tell people is, if you do something that is your avocation, it's not work, it's fun. And so I can, so it's fun for me to, have the mindset or be in the frame of mind to think about investing. And so if you're passionate about what you do, and you have to be more than passionate, you have to be unassailable in your skill set, and to that extent, if you keep working hard, if you keep improving, and if you continue to have passion for what you do, then look, everything is not going to be a bed of roses every day. But if you can take the thorns and trim that stem into that rose, then you're gonna be fine, and it's that ultimate preparation for success that will keep you competitive and will keep you on the top of your game like I am.
So what advice do you have for high school students? Sometimes we forget, in the drama of everything, we're still young, still learning, that we have our whole life ahead of us to keep working hard. So what advice do you have for us to stay motivated?
Well, like you said, you have your whole life ahead of you, and one of the things that I tell all young people is enjoy the ride. Life is a journey. Enjoy the ride, and yeah, there's going to be emotional ups and downs, and there's going to be twists and turns. But if you have a plan for what you want to do long term, and you've charted a path to achieve your goals, then just enjoy it, because yes, there are going to be obstacles, but overcoming obstacles, allaying your fears and becoming, and building those calluses to get through those tough times, that just adds to your experience. And the more experiences that you have in being able to overcome, your fears, overcome your demons, and achieve along the way, there's nothing better than realizing something that you want, while overcoming hurdles. And to the extent that you can do that, you're just going to have so much fun, and you'll look back at it and say, wow, that was not as hard as I made it. In the moment it was difficult, but now, I can sit back and laugh and say, I am grateful for the experience.
Yeah, that's great. So your life has done definitely 180. How do you remain humble? We were talking earlier, you stay woke. How do you, remain humble in your new environment that's completely different from how you were brought up?
It's easy. When you have when you're raised by a grandmother who had a sixth grade education, but had the wisdom of 3 PhDs. It's easy to stay grounded and to understand that it's not about you. Because I can tell you a lot of whenever I show up to a meeting, no one is expecting me to be the one who comes through that door. But when I come through that door, I bring the absolute thunder. I bring the thunder, I bring the lightning, I bring it all. And it's not for me. It's for my grandmom who maybe had a sixth grade education. It's for all those people who came before me and gave their lives, were insulted or were shunned away and were denied. And they paved the way and they made that opportunity for me. And the very least I can do is to show them how much I appreciate it, what they've done for me by just giving my absolute best all the time. Because if I'm able to achieve and succeed, then I can reach down and pull people up behind me and say, look, you can do a lot more than I've done. What I've scratched the surface. Mm-hmm. You can go in and do whatever you want to do, because what I've done, my achievements have set in motion for you to have an easier time to achieve what you want to achieve than what I had. Because right now I can tell you, I have no mentor. I wish I had somebody to show me the way and to make things easier for me. But to the extent that I can do that for others, that's what I'm here to do. And so that's how the way I stay humble is to realize that, people have done so much for me to have this opportunity. And so all I need to do is to do my part and to be successful at what I do, and make sure that I'm setting the path for other people to come behind me and just blaze it.
Perfect. So on an ending note, do you have any advice for incoming seniors about to go to college, about to start their lives? What kind of advice do you have for them?
What I would tell young people, juniors and seniors, is, make sure that you give yourself a chance in life. And so what may seem hard now, just look at it more of, look at it as a way, as a means to an end. But you gotta enjoy life. Look, I can tell you, as a poor kid growing up in Atlanta, I always had a smile on my face, because there was always hope. There was an amazing amount of, I got, the world is truly my oyster. and and I like to eat.
Yeah.
And so to that, so enjoy life, enjoy your youth, and plan. One of the things that I always say is failing to plan is planning to fail. And look, one of the things that, if I can just recommend 2 books for you to read, one would be Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And that book is about being rich in spirit, being rich in mind, just embracing life and taking full advantage of everything that's going to come to you in your long, fruitful life. And the other thing I would tell you to do is read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and because the main tenet in that book is don't ever work for money. Make your money work for you. And if you find something that you truly love to do, it won't be work. You would just be living out your passion. And to the extent that you can do that, you're going to be rich. I mean, you'll truly be rich in spirit, and just you will be able to carry that richness of mind and spirit into everything you do, and life will truly, you'll truly have a fulfilling life, because it's not, at the end of the day, it's not about how much money you have or how many trinkets you have. For me, it's about knowing that I've done as much as I can to help people who want to be helped to achieve all they can in life.
All right, you guys heard it here. This is personally one of my favorite interviews, the one and only Jonathan Shuranga. Thank you.
Thank you.